Cloudy homecoming day here in Harrogate, Tennessee, as the Lincoln Memorial University Railsplitter men's soccer team takes the field today to defend the faith against the Wolves of Newberry College out of Newberry, South Carolina. Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rusty Peace. Thanks to Adam Haley for the call on the opening match of the afternoon. The Lady Railsplitters falling, unfortunately, 2-1 to the Wolves of Newberry in the first match here of homecoming 2015. And another tough loss for Helio Dana and his squad. The Railsplitter men's soccer team also trying to bounce back from a couple of tough losses this past week to Carson Newman and to Wingate University, the first two losses of the year for Helio Dana's men. The Railsplitters are now 6-2-1 on the year, 3-2-1 in South Atlantic Conference play, and they'll face off against a Wolves team that is 1-9 on the year, still looking for their first conference victory. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk with Helio Dana about last week's losses and about today's match with the Wolves. You're locked into the LMU Sports Network.
From sales to service, online or in person, Anchor Marine of Speedwell, Tennessee is the source for all your boating needs. We carry a wide selection of new and used products and services for Alumacraft, Aqua Patio, Hurricane, Party Craft, Polar Craft, Rinker, Sandpan, and Sweetwater boats and pontoons, as well as a full line of Yamaha marine engines and Minn Kota trolling motors. From bow to stern, Anchor Marine also carries a wide selection of boating accessories. And if it's service you need, we offer on-site factory-trained technicians that are among the best in East Tennessee. Anchor Marine, 6630 General C.W. Steiner Highway, Speedwell. Established in 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated.
Welcome back. The Railsplitters trying to bounce back from their second consecutive loss today. Losses this week to Wingate University and Carson Newman University. And Helio Dana now joins us for pregame coverage here as his team takes the field again. Coach, tough week for you so far, but this team very much still in the fight. 6-2-1 overall, and really right there in third place of the SAC standings with a chance to maybe move up the scale a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts, it stings, because I caught a little grief when I said this statement about getting beat or losing a game and tomatoes, but we did enough to beat both teams that we lost this past week. But that kind of puts us in a situation that for contention to nationals, we got to get one back later, But you know what? It's about Newberry, and it's also about being high, like on the rankings for the conference tournament, so this is a big game.
A lot of shuffling in your lineup. I know that you've moved some guys around, playing a lot of players. We've talked many times about the depth you feel this team has this year, and you had no hesitation in playing a lot of those guys in the past two matches.
Oh, no, absolutely not. They've been playing the whole year long, and it's a good problem, but it's been a problem to find playing time for as many great players as we have, and so business as usual.
All right, let's talk about Newberry. They're a team that really has been under fire this year as far as their record. They're going to come in about 1-8. I think they've won or lost actually 5 conference matches, so they're literally down at the bottom of the barrel. In my mind, when I see a team like that, especially on the road, that's like a dangerous animal backed into a corner.
Yeah, and knowing their history, they always make it tough for us, and they have had some very close calls against some very good teams such as Wingate, and honestly, I don't take anybody lightly. In this business, anybody can beat anybody any day of the week. But with that said, if we raise our game and play to the level that we've been playing, we should be able to take care of business.
If you go back through the history of Lincoln Memorial and Newberry, typically Newberry's a tough match for LMU's men.
Yeah, because they're so scrappy. They work hard. They're physical. They're borderline, overtly physical, and those are teams that always cause troubles to the possession teams. But the different, I think, dynamic for this generation, we don't really lose our composure much, and we do have pieces that we can change the look. If I need to go scrappy and big and strong, I'll do it.
We've seen, as far as an offensive standpoint here in the last few weeks, Leonardo da Silva, we've seen Pedro Villa, who have been some of the main offensive threats for Lincoln Memorial. A couple other guys, George Byrne. I think one guy that's been coming on lately has been Nick Spielman. But those guys here in the last match or so have not really been able to get in as involved in the offense from a shots on goal category.
I'm going to throw one more name there that is, to me, the tiebreaker and very important, which is Danilo da Silva. And he's creating. He's got a ton of upside to him. He reminds me so much of Mario Pinto back in the day, you know. So he's due, and he's frustrated with himself because he's missed a few big goals of late. So I'm thinking it's going to happen today.
All right. Let's talk about the must-dos today for Lincoln Memorial. What have we got to do better today that we didn't get done in the last two matches?
Well, first of all, we got to put away easy goals. I'm not asking them to score phenomenal. Just score the easy ones, all right, because we missed some sitters. Second of all, we cannot allow a team to put a goal in based on a personal decision. You know, we gave 2 goals in the past 2 games of just making a poor pass out of the back or a slight tackle in the box, 2 big no-nos, you know. So if a team is going to score on us, they better earn it, and then the rest will take care of itself.
All right, let's talk about Newberry. What are your biggest concerns with them?
As I mentioned,
At Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When it comes to insurance, former Railsplitter basketball player Brad Seal knows that a good offense can be a strong defense. When you and your family need auto coverage, home, or life insurance, Farm Bureau considers it an honor to have the opportunity to earn your business while at the same time giving you and your family coverage you can count on. Call us today at 869-8346 or stop by our Harrogate location at 932 Patterson Road and find out why Tennessee turns to us for insurance. Experience our exceptional service at Farm Bureau.
Welcome back to the LMU Soccer Complex as the Railsplitters and Wolves of Newberry prepare for today's South Atlantic Conference matchup. Lincoln Memorial has won 5 out of the last 6 meetings dating back to 2009. In fact, last year, LMU and Newberry played to a 2-2 tie in 2 overtimes, and they'll be looking to break that up this year as they one of the two gets back on winning track. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. First of all, for the Wolves, again, they have a season record of 1-9, 0-6 in the South Atlantic Conference. Brad Dixon will make the start in the net, 5'10", and a freshman out of Wakefield, England. It'll be Quincy Crochel at midfield, 5'7", a sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Kai Tyler starts on the defensive end, 6 foot and a sophomore out of Nyack, New York, I think is how you pronounce that. Maybe not. Nico Vallejos will start at defender, 5'9", and a junior out of Santiago, Chile. It is Lucas Ferreira at midfield, 6'2", and a junior out of Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Dylan Pelton makes the start at forward, 6'2", a junior from South Carolina. It is Bennett Murphy at forward, 6'3", and a senior out of Hilton Head, South Carolina. Mario Stokowski will start at the midfield position, 5'7", and a senior out of Macedonia. Cammy Proven, starts at forward, a 6-foot junior out of Glasgow, Scotland. Billy Decker makes the start at the defensive end of the field, 6'2", and a sophomore out of Eagle River, Alaska. And Nolan Hendricks makes the start at midfield, 6'1", and a junior out of Danville, Virginia. Head coach of the Wolves is Barry Slagle. For the Railsplitters, the starters look like this. Pedro Ozzie in the net, 6'5", and a junior from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Enrico Rezic, he is the midfielder, 5'10", and a junior out of São José do Campos, Brazil. Leonardo da Silva starts at forward, 5'10", and a redshirt senior out of Ichajuba, Brazil. It is George Byrne at the forward position, 6'2", a junior out of Carlisle, England. Lucas Coro starts in the midfield, 6 foot and a senior out of Brazil. Nick Spielman makes the start at midfield, 6'1", and a sophomore out of Melbourne, Florida. MJ Sheriff getting the start today, a defensive player by nature, but he also plays the forward, 5'11", out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Bryson Lane will start on the midfield, 5'8", and a junior out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Matthew Taylor makes the start back on the defensive end. He is a 6'2" freshman out of Marietta, Georgia. And Danilo da Silva makes the start at forward, 6 foot and a junior out of Campinas, Brazil. Railsplitters under the direction of head coach Helio Dana. And, of course, at 6'2" and 1 overall, 3-2 and 1 in South Atlantic Conference play. The Railsplitters have lost 2 straight, both of which have been this week. and they are looking to try to right the ship as we enter the last few weeks of regular season play, and that's in preparation for the quickly approaching South Atlantic Conference tournament, first round of which will be played at the top 4 finishers during the regular season home sites. Then the final 4 of that advance on over to Rock Hill, South Carolina for this year's 2015 Men's Soccer Championship of the South Atlantic Conference. We've got a great match in store for you. It's coming up next. We're going to take another timeout. When we come back, we'll have your opening touch. This is the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network.
Are you looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? If you are, visit Lincoln Memorial University Medical Clinics in Harrogate and New Tazewell. All healthcare providers are faculty members of LMU's DeVos College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available are family medicine, pediatrics, internal medicine, OBGYN, geriatrics, and osteopathic manipulative medicine. Locations at Harrogate and New Tazewell. Most insurance plans are accepted. The University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7190 for an appointment.
Pizza Hut has made pizza and breadsticks even more awesome because now they're together as one. And with these 2 amazing dipping sauces, it got me thinking, everything is better together. May have a few wrinkles to work out.
2 times the flavor, 2 times the fun. Bring home the flavor with the Twisted Crust Pizza and 2 dipping sauces. Add a 2-liter Pepsi for $1. Only at Pizza Hut.
How's the wife?
She's good. It's good.
Juggling my family schedule is a full-time job. Between school, dance practice, work, there's little time left to worry about much else. That's why I use real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. With real-time banking, I know that when I make a deposit, the money goes straight to my account. No delays, no waiting, no wondering. And I get to focus on what's important.
Real-time deposits, real-time access, real-time banking. From Home Federal Bank, always within reach.
When you're traveling throughout the Tri-States, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. With nearly 60 rooms to choose from, fitness center, full complimentary hot breakfast bar, and seasonal pool, Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro is all about catering to your travel needs. Our rooms are all equipped with flat-screen TV, refrigerator, microwave, and we're conveniently located just seconds from the area's attractions. When you're on the road, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express, located on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Make reservations today by calling 606-248-6860.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Pinnacle Performance Physical Therapy wants you to know you have a choice where to receive physical and occupational therapy. We take an individualized approach to treating people of all ages. Our therapist's goal is to assist all patients by reaching their pinnacle performance in school, work, and play. We have state-of-the-art equipment such as our Alter-G anti-gravity treadmill, used to rehabilitate injuries and pain throughout the body's lower extremities. Contact us for an appointment at 423-869-9923. Pinnacle Performance Physical Therapy, 362 Catalpa Avenue, Harrogate.
Whether traveling for business or pleasure, Sleep Inn and Suites of Middlesboro, Kentucky invites you to dream better here. Located at the foothills of the Cumberland Gap, Sleep Inn and Suites offers luxurious rooms equipped with microwave fridge combo, desk, ergonomic chair, wireless internet, and 32-inch flat-screen TV. While staying with us, visit our fitness center, wake up to our complimentary hot breakfast bar, or have a bedtime snack with our fresh-baked cookies. Sleep Inn and Suites, located off Highway 25E, Middlesboro. If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. From sales to service, online or in person, Anchor Marine of Speedwell, Tennessee is the source for all your boating needs. We carry a wide selection of new and used products and services for Alumacraft, Aqua Patio, Hurricane, Party Craft, Polar Craft, Rinker, Sandpan, and Sweetwater boats and pontoons, as well as a full line of Yamaha marine engines and Minn Kota trolling motors. From bow to stern, Anchor Marine also carries a wide selection of boating accessories. And if it's service you need, we offer on-site factory-trained technicians that are among the best in East Tennessee. Anchor Marine, 6630 General C.W. Steiner Highway, Speedwell.
Welcome back. Technical direction for today's broadcast is by Thomas Miracle. Your camera operation by Tyler Rowlett and Jessica Jackson. And your executive producer for the broadcast is Tony Spinoza. This is a production of LMU Community TV and the LMU Sports Network. Any rebroadcast or reuse of today's match without the express written consent of Lincoln Memorial University, LMU Community TV, and the LMU Sports Network is prohibited. Rusty Peace with you on this Saturday afternoon. Homecoming here on the LMU campus, and thus far it has started on a dismal note for Lincoln Memorial University athletics as the Lady Railsplitter soccer team suffered a 2-1 loss at the hands of the Wolves in the opening match of the afternoon. Newberry came in dead last place of the South Atlantic Conference race, and Lincoln Memorial suffering another loss. They have now scored only 1 goal in the last 3 matches, and tough one for the Lady Railsplitters today. All right, we are just about set to get underway. Of course, Newberry wearing the visiting red uniforms, or red tops with white shorts. Railsplitters in the white tops with blue shorts, or with navy, and it appears that Newberry will have the opening touch of the match. We are set to get underway here in Harrogate. Glad to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon here in early October. Rain is held off throughout much of the day. We've had some slight mist out there, but it's not actually rain today. We did receive some throughout the night and, of course, yesterday. So field conditions are not quite as good as we had hoped for, but considering the forecast, I think better than we probably should have been given. They were really calling for a little bit more rain throughout the night. I don't think we got quite as much as they thought we were going to. And we are underway here in Harrogate. Railsplitters fell behind early in that match with Carson Newman this past week, and then managed to tie it up about midway through the first half. Carson Newman putting a goal in right before the halftime intermission to take a 2-1 lead, and then they carried that lead throughout the remainder of the first half to capture the win. Badly turned over ball by Lincoln Memorial, and a great run by Newberry. That appears to be Ferreira, who is backed out away from the box. And the Railsplitters will steal it away. Defense is what Lincoln Memorial's men's program, for the most part, has prided itself on in recent years. Mario Pinto, a great forward, All-American caliber, but still, in my opinion, even though he may rank up there in the record books with guys from the past like Leandro Pereira and Nelson Pizarro and some of those guys, not quite the score that we saw back in 06-07. And, of course, this year's Railsplitter team has a lot of different weapons, but, again, nobody really the caliber of those guys that I mentioned just a few minutes ago. Here's Rezick, finds the seam, gets it up through the middle. And on the run now for the Railsplitters, this is, I think that was Danilo da Silva who turned it over. Rezick will get it back. Railsplitters knocking it around. Nice leave. Long ball toward the midfield area and headed back by Lincoln Memorial. Pulled down on the feet of Cammie Proven of Newberry. Proven still handling. Over to Stokowski. The drop back there to Decker, and he'll go to the far sideline with it. LMU carried the attack to Carson Newman early on Wednesday, but despite that, the Eagles held LMU without a shot on goal until after they had tallied their first goal. Great ball up the middle now for the Wolves, as that is Dylan Pelton, and he had it knocked over to the far sideline, crossed toward the box area. Dangerous ball in there, and Pedro Ozzie falling on one there, as I believe maybe there might have been a foul or an offside call by the official. Rezick turns it over, trying to squeeze it through the seam. Pass now over to Newberry's Ferreira. Headed by Sheriff towards lane, and up through the seam away to Byrne. The sun actually trying to poke out here in Harrogate right now. We haven't seen that in a couple of days. Byrne knocks it back far side. Coro playing the defensive back there. We do not see Nathan Johnson in the lineup, so apparently that injury he sustained against Carson Newman was a little more serious than we'd thought. He's out of the lineup, at least for the time, and I don't know if we'll see him today. Da Silva draws attention quickly, squeezes one through the gap, and that'll prompt Brad Dixon, the keeper, to come out and keep it in front of feet as he receives no pressure in the box. And now Danilo Da Silva kind of headed that way and got him to go ahead and kick the ball away. Nice challenge far sideline by M.J. Sheriff, who earned the start today. He's out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Just underway here in Harrogate. Newberry still looking for its first conference win of the year, as they are 0-6 in league play. The Railsplitters trying to snap a two-match losing streak. Spielman gets it away to Da Silva. Through the gap to Leonardo Da Silva. Nice move around the defender, draws a lot of attention. Splits it out wide left over to teammate Bryson Lane, and that's going to be out off the wide right side of the post, far post. Hard to believe that when you look down the schedule, Lincoln Memorial has, after today, only 2 more regular season home matches. That's going to be Mars Hill on the 21st and Catawba on the 31st. Now, for the women, they'll be in action against Converse on Monday. That'll be a solo match for the Lady Railsplitters, and hopefully that'll be what the doctor ordered in order to get them out of the slump they've been in. Sheriff, recipient of the inbound throw, knocked to the field. The official with no call there, and that's going to go to Newberry. Wolves doing a nice job of going back and forth with Lincoln Memorial right now in the possession area. You heard Elio Dana talking in the pregame about improving possession today. Up to Sheriff, now to the far sideline. That's Abdelaziz, who is also in the starting lineup. I may have missed him a little while ago when I was going through the starters. Ball knocked out by Newberry. To the feet of Byrne. Big guy draws a lot of attention when he's in the lineup. Gets it away to Rezick. Now the wide pass for Spielman. Trying to carry a little bit of space, dumps it off into Da Silva, and that ball knocked away. He'll get it back. Only for a moment, however. There's Lucas Coro coming out of the defensive backfield to steal that one away again. Taylor going up line with it, and the ball headed away out of bounds. Lincoln Memorial doing a pretty good job here early of keeping it over on the Newberry end of the field. Throw into Byrne, trying to use that body to shield, and 2 defenders. That's going to be a foul on Lincoln Memorial, and that'll give it back to the Wolves. Big day here on the LMU campus. LMU Athletes Hall of Fame induction earlier this morning. 6 new members of the Hall of Fame being inducted this year. A lot of special former Railsplitter and Lady Railsplitter players from various sports, and, of course, former head coach Rick Bird, who is now the head men's basketball coach and has been for about 30 seasons at Belmont in Nashville, Division I program. He's also, I believe, the chairman of the NCAA Rules Committee. He's a chairman of some committee, I do know that, for the NCAA. Run by De Silva as he had a lot of contact there. No call again by the official. And as a result, he didn't get a whole lot on that ball, and it went to the near side of the post, but the keeper was there to snatch it up in any case. (37-16) play, first half. We are still scoreless, neither team with a shot on goal at this point in the match. You can hear the wind blowing in the crowd, Mike. It is blowing toward the south-southwest, so for the Railsplitters, it should be an advantage if they go to goal with a shot here in the first half. Ball would probably have a lot of movement. Great ball up the middle, keeper coming out on it, and he'll get there before the charging Newberry offensive player. LMU with a rolled outlet. Here's Rezick being pressured from behind, gets it over to De Silva. Danilo De Silva through the gap to Byrne. First touch was a little bit off, and he turns it over as that is stolen away by the Wolves. Direct ball across the field, and that'll ride out of play, so Wolves give it right back, and LMU player down as there was some contact out there. That was Abdelaziz. MJ Sheriff will have the throw in for Lincoln Memorial. 36-14. Abdelaziz actually tossed it in. I think they had a change of mind there right prior to the throw. The drop by Newberry's Billy Decker. And that ball is going to be last touch somehow by Newberry out of play. That'll be LMU possession. And a holding foul called on Lincoln Memorial as they obstructed that defender from getting to the ball. Conference race really shaping up nicely. You've got Wingate out there at 6-0. They're a full 2 games ahead of Carson Newman and Anderson, who are tied for second at 4-2. Lincoln Memorial back there in the 4 spot, 3-2-1. Just a little bit ahead of Tusculum at 3-1-1. Maybe behind them if you really want to look at it like that, because they've played one more match. Brevard at 3-2-1, so they're now tied with Lincoln Memorial, and the Railsplitters have a win over them, so they'll have that half-game lead. Nice shot to the right post and over the crossbar by LMU's Danilo De Silva, and at least LMU had a shot right there, but it is high, and that'll leave the Wolves with a goal kick. Lenore Ryan also at 3-2, followed by Catawba, Queens, and Coker with 2-4 records. Mars Hill's 1-4-1, and as we said, Newberry still winless in the league, looking for their first victory. Direct ball back across midfield. De Silva right there to take it on the run. Keeper's out. He tries to touch one towards the net, and it will trickle into the goal. I have no idea why the keeper was out as far as he was, but Danilo De Silva caught a beautifully placed pass and just touched it just enough to outroll the charging defender who was trying to catch up with it, and it trickled into the goal without the defender actually being able to make contact with it. I have no idea why the keeper was that far out of the net, but it doesn't matter. 1-0 Lincoln Memorial in LMU's first shot on goal. Railsplitters strike first in this one today, and they take the advantage here in the early minutes of the first half. We've still got 34:07 to go, first half of play. Lane looking for the challenge ball, couldn't come up with it. Newberry wins the second ball, and that's going to roll out off of the Wolves. Lane, throw into De Silva. Check pass back to Rezick. Through the seam, intended for Leonardo De Silva, and stolen away by the Wolves. This is Ferreira being pressured near side, switches the ball to the far field. And that ball in front of Kai Tyler. Passes away to Vallejos. Trying to hit Tyler downfield, but it's picked up by another one of the Wolf players and cleared out of there by Coro. And now a direct ball way up the field. Here's De Silva again. He's going to try to pull it down on the second or third bounce. Being supported by Byrne. The cross never materialized as that was knocked off the end by one of the Wolf defenders. And so Lincoln Memorial will have a corner kick from the far corner. Great ball down the field. A couple of nice passes here early to really put LMU in a scoring position. And Danilo De Silva has been involved with both of them. Corner kick will come from the far corner. LMU getting some bodies in the box area over there. Ball comes right at the post, knocked around a bit. It's going to go back out, and I think that's going to be a foul on Lincoln Memorial as it will go back to the Wolves. 1-0 Railsplitters, as we are not yet a third through the first half of play. It looked as though that player a minute ago was going to be able to outrun the ball and get it before it trickled into the goal, but just couldn't quite get there. Here's Stokowski sending it upfield across the midline, knocked away. He'll get it back. Stokowski plays it out wide. Kroschel trying to find a seam, headed away and out of bounds by Taylor. Inbound throw will come from Kroschel. Beg your pardon, he's decided to leave it. That'll be Kai Tyler that comes to the near sideline to toss it in. Tyler backing up next to the fence. I'm not sure if he's going to try to do what I think he's going to do. We'll see. He is not. Thought he might do one of the somersault throws, but I've not seen that in quite a while. I have seen it a few times in recent years. Ball across the middle, picked up by De Silva. Railsplitters with the numbers. Long ball up the field. I think he was just, again, the keeper was so far out of the net that he was almost daring him to have a shot from three-quarters field. And I thought De Silva, if he'd hit that one a little better and knocked it over the keeper's head, he might have had a chance. Direct ball to the opposite end. Headed up once by Abdelaziz. Headed towards the top of the 18. And now the Wolves working around the box a little bit. Abdelaziz looking to keep it in play and does. He saves it from going off the midline. Direct ball to midfield. Headed back. Burns will go up and challenge the second ball. Picked up by the Wolves. Surface out there very slippery. I see a lot of guys sliding a bit. The footing very loose due to the moisture this field has absorbed. Hard foul by Lincoln Memorial as that is going to go to Newberry at about two-thirds field. "15 minutes gone first half here. We've got 30 to go. Railsplitters have taken the upper advantage here early. 2 shots on goal thus far. Ball from the far angle, heading toward the box. Ozzie punches it out. I'm surprised he didn't go up and catch that one. Hit back into the box, headed toward the far post. Ozzie scrambling to get there, and he's going to wisely let it roll out of play. That'll be a goal kick for Lincoln Memorial. Ball to the near side, checked back by Rezick. Taylor gets it, switches the field to the far side. Coro up to Spielman, now far side to Abdelaziz. Back to Spielman. Through the seam, Rezick makes his turn. Tried to get it across midfield, gambled a little bit, stolen away by Strakowski through the middle. Hit nicely toward the crossbar by, I think that was Pelton, but it was well high of its mark, and it'll go out of play again, a goal kick for Lincoln Memorial. Railsplitters gambling a little bit in the midfield on their passing, and Newberry showing a strong presence defensively. Here's Rezick. Same setup as last time. This time a little more deliberate on his passes. Here's Danilo da Silva. Skips it over to Coro. Coro carrying some space to Abdelaziz, far sideline. Back to Coro. Check pass now back to Taylor. LMU trying to restructure the offense a bit. Switch of the field over to Spielman. Up to Da Silva. Got tied up with a little bit. Kicks it out over and away to Leonardo da Silva. Lob pass into Spielman, and great idea, but the pass just a little bit too far, and Spielman was there. He just knew he never had a chance at it. The keeper was going to get it all along. Nice goal kick across midfield for the Wolves. Brad Dixon's got a pretty good leg on him out there. Pass into Leonardo da Silva. Sheriff comes down with it on the feet, trying to shake the defender. Forced to use his drop. Coro takes over. Over to Spielman. Spielman gets squared. Now away to Rezick. Back to Spielman. Over to Lane near sideline. He looks things over. Plays it back to Taylor. LMU just knocking it around, really. Trying to spread the defense somewhat thin. Abdelaziz to Spielman. Now away to Leonardo da Silva. He's got all kinds of room. Pushes it across midfield. Away to Taylor. Taylor looking things over. Up through the seam to Lane. Tried to take it through the legs on the first touch, and it's stolen away. Just a bad first touch right there. You don't normally see that from Bryson Lane, as he is a crafty little player. Ozzie way out of the box, comes out and plays it over to Abdelaziz. Now up to Sheriff. Back to Abdelaziz. Had him hold up a little bit. Through the middle to Spielman. Up to Da Silva. Back to Spielman on the run. Spielman stays with it. Through the defender. The defender tripped him up, and a foul is going to be called on Newberry, as that impeded his progress, and so Lincoln Memorial will maintain possession, and good sportsmanship shown there by the Wolves' Billy Decker, who came over and shook hands with Spielman. No ill intent right there. .25-44 to play first half. Railsplitters with 2 shots on goal. They have not given one up as of yet. Da Silva, chip shot toward the near corner of the box. Actually, that was not Da Silva. That was Rezick. Da Silva tried the bicycle and missed contact with the ball. I'd like to remind you again that the Lady Railsplitter soccer team will be in action on Monday when they play host to Converse College. We'll have your coverage of that match as we start with pregame 10 minutes prior to the first touch. Here's Spielman through the middle, gets it to Da Silva. Da Silva just over the crossbar with a shot, and that one was hit well, but trajectory just a little bit high in the elevation category, and LMU a little bit off the mark again. The opportunities are there this afternoon, and so far defensively, Lincoln Memorial has played very solid. Ball toward the far sideline. Checked back by the Wolves. Brad Dixon scrambling over there to get to it, and he's going to play it down the sideline. And it's touched out of bounds by Newberry's Kai Tyler. Throw in again, knocked out by Newberry. The one advantage Lincoln Memorial may have here today is they've got the for the most part, a pretty deep bench that loses very little intensity. And I'd say you're going to see a lot of guys coming in and getting some action today to try to wear down these Wolves. Headed by Coro at midfield. Second ball won by Newberry. And the third will be sent back by Nick Spielman toward the top of the 18. De Silva plays it over to Leonardo De Silva. Bicycle kick to the right post, and it's just wide right. Beautiful attempt by Leonardo De Silva on that bicycle. And it was just a little bit off the mark. That is a very difficult shot for those of you who haven't really watched a lot of soccer or definitely don't know how to do that like I don't. But very difficult for a player to hit that with a level of accuracy. Ball flicked out of bounds far sideline again by Newberry. The throw-in will come from Lincoln Memorial. Taken in by Coro. His ball knocked away, trying to switch the field, runs through the ball. Now plays it up to Rezick, makes his turn, out wide to Lane. Lane was got some running room. He's being pressured now, nearly had it knocked away, maintains possession, gives it off to De Silva. De Silva through the middle. Nice moves for De Silva. You almost have to have a shot right there, but he runs across the midfield, plays it back to De Silva, and that was Leonardo De Silva, and his shot again high and off the mark. I think possibly this pressure from Lincoln Memorial is starting to take its toll on Newberry because the Railsplitters have had several shots here in the last 2 or 3 possessions. And thus far, it's really just been their lack of accuracy that has prevented them from a goal. Header by Spielman at midfield. Second ball from Newberry. Wolves trying to pull it down off the chest. Ball's played back, taken by Spielman. Sheriff now turns. Over to Abdelaziz. The ball back toward the midfield. Headed away by Newberry's Kroschel. And onto the feet of Danilo De Silva. Out wide left. This is Rezick through the wickets. Cross in front of the goal. And that is Leonardo De Silva, I believe, off of the pass by Enrique Rezick. And Lincoln Memorial takes a 2-0 lead off of that strike. 21:44 to play first half. As De Silva was right there. That was a beautiful pass from Rezick as he took it right through the defender's legs and then chipped it over to teammate Leonardo De Silva for the goal. Lincoln Memorial now leading 2-0 with 2 shots on goal, unless they haven't added that yet, and they may not have. It could be 3 shots on goal. Ball right through the middle of the field up to the keeper, Ozzie, and he's going to hold things up and pick it up after being pressured very lightly. Outlet roll near sideline over to Taylor, now up to Rezick. The drop back to Coro. Over to Spielman. Through the seam to Sheriff. Sheriff with time to make his turn. Didn't choose to do that. Back to Rezick. De Silva. De Silva really covering a lot of ground today. Chips his pass and it's deflected. Stolen by the Wolves. Recovered by Spielman, who touched it over to Coro, and now he turns it over. Tyler. Long pass up to teammate Ferreira. Ball's in the box, cleared out of there by Coro. Still being knocked around. A lot of contact right there at the top of the box. Rezick being pressured from behind, and now a whistle by the referee, and it's going to be a foul on Newberry. Spielman to Rezick. Back to Spielman. Up to De Silva. And stolen again by the Wolves. Taken by Kroschel. Kroschel under pressure. Comes near sideline. Kroschel looking to cross it. Sends it inside the box. And a shot attempt over the crossbar. That's really the first legit shot that Newberry has had this afternoon. And that, I believe, was by Bennett Murphy, who was right there in front of the keeper's box, but he couldn't keep it down. And so thus Lincoln Memorial dodges the bullet there as they still hold a 2-0 lead, 19:42 to play first half. Substitutions for Newberry. Wolves got several players in there in that exchange. Lincoln Memorial will have the goal kick here, and they're not going to go deep with it. They're just going to play it out of the backfield. Trying to spread this Newberry defense thin again. Taylor to Rezick, man on from behind, now sends it up to Sheriff. Sheriff's got all kinds of room. Across the grain, away to De Silva. Through the seam, almost hit his teammate there with a beautiful pass, but it was deflected before it got to him. Danilo De Silva tripped up on the way after making a move, and that'll be a foul on the Wolves. Tell you, I've been impressed with Danilo De Silva here in the last couple of matches, despite losses. I mean, he's got some moves. He reminds you of a very raw, I would say Nelson Pizarro, although he's got the frame of Leandro Pereira. Maybe not as big. Pereira was about 6'2". Runs a lot like him. He's got some skills that are very similar. Rezick trying to put a ball in the box. Headed around in there. Spielman got a piece of it. And now it's cleared away, I believe, by Newberry. And I believe that's Spielman down. Spielman went down in the box. And the official is going to call for a stoppage at 17:49. And the athletic trainer is going to be called on. Not what you want to see out there from Coach Heliodana's standpoint. I mean, Nick Spielman has been just – is it not – they're telling me now that it is not Spielman. It is Lucas Coro. Beg your pardon, 15's right in front of me. Coro made a play on the ball and got locked up with the defender right there, and I don't know exactly what happened. Looks like they might be checking his right leg. Thought possibly they were stretching out a cramp for a moment, but and they may be. He is now up on his feet and trying to walk it off. He is walking out with a limp, so he's going to come out of the match at least for the moment. And with that, Heliodana's going to have some guys ready to check in over there. It looks like perhaps Philip Wong may come into the lineup. That might be Yinkala Wall as well. Several substitutions. Also, Pedro Villa in the lineup for Lincoln Memorial. Yinkala Wall also entering, as we mentioned a moment ago. And so kind of a changing of the guard for the Railsplitters. They get a lot of fresh legs, and there are a lot of dangerous players in the lineup now. I mean, any one of those guys right there could hurt you offensively. Throw in to De Silva, back over to Wong, out to Abdelaziz, and Wong will take over. He'll drop it way back to Taylor. Spielman has now moved back into a defensive position on the back line. Lob toward the top of the box, headed away. Tyler gets a piece of it. Stolen back by Danilo De Silva. Two defenders in front of him. Tries to shake one. Goes to the end line. Making a run toward the box. Crosses right to Yinkala Wall. Ball still there. Chipped by the wall, and an offside call on Lincoln Memorial. After the pass from De Silva to Yinkala Wall, De Silva was put offside because the defender stepped up toward the ball, which was near Yinkala Wall. So that automatically put De Silva offside when Lawal fired the shot. Long kick across the midline. There's Spielman with the header. Second ball won by Newberry, and Lincoln Memorial will get it off the chest of Abdelaziz. Drop back to Taylor. Lucas, I'm not sure who that is right there. Abdelaziz back there on the back line for Lincoln Memorial. Up to Spielman, check pass to Abdelaziz. Out wide, far sideline. That's that may be Coro back in the lineup. I can't really tell from here. Out to the near wing. Here's Taylor. Through the seam up to Wong. Back to Taylor. Over to Spielman. Far side to Coro, I believe. Long direct ball. He's going to try to hit Pedro Villa on the fly. Couldn't do it, but it's checked back to Spielman. Through the seam to Wong. Wong has it knocked away from behind, and it's stolen by Jalen Butler of Newberry. And Wong's going to be called for the hold, as that'll be a foul on Lincoln Memorial. Almost 2/3 of the way through this first half. And the Railsplitters with a 2-0 lead on 3 shots on goal. This kick's going to be taken by Ferreira of Newberry. To the far corner of the box. Rezic stands him up, taps it over to Danilo Da Silva. And Da Silva is going to keep it in play, outrunning the defender up the sideline. Tripped up, and it's stolen away by the Wolves. Spielman touches it out to Da Silva, to LMU's Villa. Lane trying to hit. I think that's a little wall, and it was knocked out of play. Over to Wong. Check pass into Rezic, knocked away. And here's a breakaway for the Wolves. On the run, this is Butler. He stood up by Taylor, plays it across the middle, out to the wide far side of the box. Ripped shot toward the right side post, and it was knocked away by Ozzie, who keeps it inside the box. That was Johnny Light who hit it for Newberry. Ball down the far sideline. Touched by Da Silva. He still has it. Plays it across the field. Pass for Lane. He'll check it back to Taylor. And away to Rezic. And Rezic's got a lot of room in front of him. Switch of the field, far side to Abdelaziz. Up to Spielman. Spielman going up far sideline, trying to hit Wong or Yinka Lawal with a pass. Lawal not able to keep it in play. And that'll be a goal kick for Newberry. Too much momentum, footing too unsure, and the ball moving too much. 12:55 to go first half. Challenge ball at midfield, second ball, not determined who got that, but it will be going to Newberry by virtue of the foul on Lincoln Memorial. You look at that field out there, I mean, there's a lot of divots, a lot of really loose surface, and hopefully it's going to get an opportunity to dry out a little bit before Monday's women's match with Converse. Long ball by Da Silva. Foot race by Lawal. The keeper is out. Lawal's going to have an opportunity. Ball still there, and apparently the Newberry player got kicked in the head. Lawal shot wide left post, well away from the frame. And I don't know if it was hit by Newberry or not. It might actually be a corner for Lincoln Memorial. I'm not sure, though. It is, in fact, it's a throw-in for Lincoln Memorial right next to the flag area. So Bryson Lane's going to trot over there and do the honors for Lincoln Memorial. Into Rezic. Plays it to the end line. Lane with the left foot across the box. Wong rips one, hits his teammate, rips another one that's off the defender. Villa brings it down for Lincoln Memorial, and it's knocked out off the inline. That'll be a corner for the Railsplitters. LMU with all kinds of action now as they have stayed on the offensive attack here in the first half. Villa to the inline. Headed away by one of the Wolf defenders and sent to the far sideline. That'll roll out of play back to Lincoln Memorial. Contact made by Vallejos right there for Newberry. Clock down to 10:55 to play first half. Wind still blowing in Lincoln Memorial's favor. Lawal will try to bring it down off the chest out to Abdelaziz. Ball passed from Coro over to Spielman, now out wide near side to Taylor. Railsplitters just trying to pick this defense apart. They've done a pretty good job of possessing it here today. Spielman. Over to Lane. Up to Villa, and his pass a little bit behind Spielman. He's got to hit him on the run instead of trying to play it where he was. Ball knocked back towards Ozzie, the keeper, and he'll scoop it up. Newberry has not had much offense here today. They do have one shot on goal. Ball through the seam up to Lawal, and he can't hold his footing, but there to bail him out is Da Silva. The cross whiffed by the Newberry defender, and that'll be another corner for Lincoln Memorial. That was Phillip Long making the run as he was right there ready to punch one in if he got an opportunity. So Hisham Abdelaziz is going to head over to the far flag, and it will be a corner kick for the Railsplitters. He's got Danilo Da Silva over there to help him if he decides not to send a long ball into the box, but he will. Shot by Spielman, deflected by the keeper. That was a shot on goal. Lawal gets the rebound. He hits one that's knocked away. And we've still got a Newberry player down outside the box, but he's now getting up to his feet. Foul called on the Wolves, and that'll go back to Lincoln Memorial as the clock still works in the Railsplitters' favor. Rezick to Spielman. Out to Lane. Over to Spielman. Switches the field, gives it up to Rezick. Touches it out wide right to Coro. Up to Wong, far sideline. Wong with a cross through the middle, headed in, or chested away by Decker. And Da Silva gets it back. Over to Wong. Trying to lead Da Silva to the inline. And Newberry's Tyler, I believe, shielded Da Silva off, and that'll roll out of play back to the Wolves. Substitution now for Newberry. Coach Slagle over there limited in the numbers on his bench, but using him as he can. And that appears that's going to be Tyler Lee that checks in for the Wolves. He's a 5'6" freshman out of Savannah, Georgia. Abdelaziz. Away to Coro, over to Spielman. Across the grain now to Villa. Villa looking across. He's got Rezick up to Wong, back to Rezick. Rezick fighting his way through the defender. Gets around him. Got to make a strike here, and he hits it on the far post. He made the move on his own. Rezick held it a little longer than most would have probably thought he should, but he knew what he was doing right there as he was able to get the keeper off enough to squeeze a shot past him over to the far post. And just like that, the Railsplitters strike again as they take a third goal lead here with 7:23 to play first half and 4 shots on goal. Substitution now for the Railsplitters as it's going to be Alejandro Leal that checks in for Lincoln Memorial. Rezick will go out. Got another sub in there as well. I didn't get the number yet, and I'm looking. That may be Rafael Beta. That's what Bill Porter just told me in the background. Long ball up the near sideline now, intended for Went. And that's knocked out of play by LMU's Bryson Lane. Lincoln Memorial with a commanding lead here as we approach the end of the first half. 6:48 to play, and the Railsplitters' relentless attack has just been brutal on the Wolves here in the first, nearly 40 minutes of play. 40 minutes. Cross at the top of the box, hit to the right post but out of play as the Wolves had a shot, but it was not on goal. Nice corner that time by Newberry. Substitution again for Lincoln Memorial as that's William Siu gets into the lineup for the Railsplitters. And Danilo da Silva comes out. Lau, far sideline. Pass over to Spielman. Out to Lane. Up to Villa. Drop back to Spielman. Makes his move around the defender. Gives it up to Yinka Lawal. He has got bodies all over him. Lawal really being handled physical there. Taylor with a check pass back across midfield on the deflection. Wong thrown to the carpet. And Lane with the steal. Here's Coro being trailed from behind. Ball touched out by Lincoln Memorial. Now the Railsplitters have still got a pretty tough schedule to go. I mean, you got to go to Coker. That's the longest trip in the South Atlantic Conference, all the way to Hartsville, South Carolina. It's about 6.5 hours. And that's not counting a stop for meals or anything like that. Then you got Mars Hill at home, as we said, on the 21st. You go to Anderson, another pretty decently long trip down in Anderson, South Carolina, 3.5 hours at the most. But that's a tough place to play. You come back to host Catawba on Halloween Day. And all that is in hopes of finishing as one of the top 2 or 3 men's teams in the conference to host the first round of the tournament. Inevitably, you got to beat the best to get to the tournament. Here's Villa on a pass. Villa rips a shot to the left post, and that'll go out of play back to Newberry as he hit that one fat to the left side. 4:06 to go, first half, and LMU's fresh legs now starting to take its toll on the Wolves. You know, when you got a record like Newberry does right now at 0-6 in the league, 1-9 overall, it takes a lot just to lace them up and get out there on the field each time that you have a match. There's just not that spring in your step or that fight and desire that you had early season. Here's Villa again off the pass from Spielman. Getting support from Spielman. Down line, Spielman looking to cross it here. Left foot right in front of the frame, and that's going to be knocked out of play by Newberry's Nico Vallejos. So a corner kick for Lincoln Memorial. 3:24 to go. And the Railsplitters with an opportunity here to possibly put something in there and get another shot on goal. It'll be Philip Wong that'll take the corner for the Railsplitters. Referee stopping play momentarily, not the clock, but some pushing going on as Philip, that's Nick Spielman, is trying to occupy some space right there in front of the frame, and the Newberry players didn't want him to be there. Cross at the top of the keeper box, punched out by one of the Newberry players, and they'll come up with possession. Knocked downfield. Taylor's going to be there, and apparently there was a collision that took place between Beta and one of the Newberry players. That appears to be Tyler Lee, and the crowd, Newberry crowd didn't like it. Apparently Lee hit in the head somewhere. Didn't really see it. Flick from Villa to Wong. Wong trying to keep it in play on the end line and pushed off the ball. Lane will play it back. Foot race. Lee trying to get there, but that's going to be Ozzie that comes back and boots it across midfield. Challenge ball headed up. Wong's going to come down with the second ball, and he touched it out of play. Philip Wong had position to bring it down, and his first touch was a little bit off the mark. Spielman flicks it back over to Coro. Through the seam up to Leal. And out to the wide side of the field. That might be Beta right there. It's hard to tell from here. The drop back to Coro. And Coro knocked to the floor, and that's going to be a yellow card on Newberry. And again, that is on Tyler Lee, who was involved in that exchange a few minutes ago. So a yellow card for the Wolves here as we are a minute 24 seconds away from closing out this first half.
Yellow card issued to Newberry's number 21, Tyler Lee.
Newberry crowd finding a little humor in that. .124 to go, 3-0 Lincoln Memorial, first half. And the Railsplitters will have the ball from the spot of the foul. That'll be just on their side of midfield. And the clock starts to run, but the whistle by the official says, no, sir, that wasn't the prompt time to start it. Ball played back toward Taylor, nearly lost his feet. Up to Spielman. Across the grain, back to Beta. Through the middle, Wong with a flick, couldn't maintain possession. And offside called, I believe, on Newberry, but ignored by the official as LMU maintained possession. 45 seconds to go first half. Over to Spielman under no pressure, at least for the time. Out to Lane, up line now to Villa. Check pass to Lane through the gap intended for Siu and stolen back by Newberry. Played to the far side by Ferreira. Stolen by Beta through the gap. Up to Siu. Siu had it there. And it was recovered. Now he's going to get it back. It was recovered by Kroschel. Cross in front of the frame. No LMU jerseys there. And then a turnover by the Wolves with 10 seconds to play. LMU should have one final shot. This is going to be Lane. Puts one in the box or close to it. Picked up by Villa, and that'll ride out of bounds. LMU will go to the intermission leading 3-0 over the Wolves of Newberry in an offensive-filled first half of play. We'll take this time out, and we'll be back. This is the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network.
At Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When it comes to insurance, former Railsplitter basketball player Brad Seal knows that a good offense can be a strong defense. When you and your family need auto coverage, home, or life insurance, Farm Bureau considers it an honor to have the opportunity to earn your business while at the same time giving you and your family coverage you can count on. Call us today at 869-8346 or stop by our Harrogate location at 932 Patterson Road and find out why Tennessee turns to us for insurance. Experience our exceptional service at Farm Bureau.
Are you looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? If you are, visit Lincoln Memorial University Medical Clinics in Harrogate and New Tazewell. All healthcare providers are faculty members of LMU's DeVos College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available are family medicine, pediatrics, internal medicine, OBGYN, geriatrics, and osteopathic manipulative medicine. Locations in Harrogate and New Tazewell. Most insurance plans are accepted. The University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment.
Pizza Hut has made pizza and breadsticks even more awesome because now they're together as one. And with these two amazing dipping sauces, it got me thinking, everything is better together.
May have a few wrinkles to work out.
2 times the flavor, 2 times the fun. Bring home the flavor with the Twisted Crust Pizza and 2 dipping sauces at a 2-liter Pepsi for $1. Only at Pizza Hut.
How's the wife?
She's good. It's good.
Juggling my family schedule is a full-time job. Between school, dance practice, work, there's little time left to worry about much else. That's why I use real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. With real-time banking, I know that when I make a deposit, the money goes straight to my account. No delays, no waiting, no wondering. And I get to focus on what's important.
Real-time deposits, real-time access, real-time banking. From Home Federal Bank, always within reach.
When you're traveling throughout the Tri-States, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. With nearly 60 rooms to choose from, fitness center, full complimentary hot breakfast bar, and seasonal pool, Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro is all about catering to your travel needs. Our rooms are all equipped with flat screen TV, refrigerator, microwave, and we're conveniently located just seconds from the area's attractions. When you're on the road, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express, located on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Make reservations today by calling 606-248-6860.
A relentless offensive attack by the Railsplitters today as they lead at the break 3-0 over the Wolves of Newberry College out of Newberry, South Carolina. Lincoln Memorial with 5 first-half shots on goal. The Wolves generating only 1, and LMU has literally controlled every portion of this match. Only a couple of occasions have allowed the Wolves to get a shot away down there on the LMU end of the field. But for the most part, Lincoln Memorial actually – if they had caught a little bit of break or so, they could be up more than 3-0 at the half. But a welcome sight for the Railsplitters to come out and take the upper hand from an offensive standpoint early. As we now look at the official statistics, Newberry with 5 total shots, only 1 of which has been on goal. And that is Nico Vallejos with 1, 2 by Dylan Pelton, 1 by Bennett Murphy, and 1 from Johnny Light. That was the last shot that they got in the first half. The keeper, Brad Dixon, already with 3 goals against, 1 save for a total of 4 shots on goal, as opposed to 5 is what we see on the scoreboard. But for Lincoln Memorial, 14 total shots, 5 of which are on goal. Yeah, I had that backwards. My mistake entirely. Pedro Ozzie with no saves to his credit yet. Enrique Rezic with 1 shot. Leonardo Da Silva with 5. 2 of which were on goal. Also, Rezic had 1 on goal. He has 1 goal. Leonardo Da Silva with 1 goal. Rezic has an assist to go along with that resume. Lucas Coro with an assist in the first half. 1 shot, 1 on goal by Nick Spielman. Danilo Da Silva with 3 shots, 1 on goal, 1 goal. Yenka Lawal with 2. Pedro Villa has 1, and Philip Wong with 1, as Lincoln Memorial again leads at the break 3-0. The goals came at 10:44 the first half. That was Danilo Da Silva. He was assisted by teammate Lucas Coro. 23-16 is when the Railsplitters put in their second strike. Leonardo Da Silva with the goal. Enrique Rezic with the assist on that particular event. And then at 37-37, Enrique Rezic got his first goal of the match, his first of the season, and his 3rd point of the match as he brought us to a 3-0 score at the break. The only card issued in the first half was against Newberry's I think that is going to be Newberry player Tyler Lee, and that was at the 43-36 mark. Been a pretty clean game thus far, and not a whole lot of contact, not a whole lot of fouls as we have seen in some of the past matches. Railsplitters on top at the timeout, or halftime rather. We're going to take this timeout, and we'll be back. This is the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
Known for his purpose, his determination, and his ability to see a path laid before him and step into it with utmost certainty. At Lincoln Memorial University, we recognize those who do the same. The few who, in the face of adversity, choose destiny over indifference. Like Lincoln, they stand apart, and here is where they hang their hat. Lincoln Memorial University. Your career path is here.
With cheese. A juicy, simply seasoned patty seared to perfection. Having one next to you can be a little distracting. In fact, it's so beefy and cheesy that... wait a minute. What was I just saying?
Now at McDonald's, get 2 classic Quarter Pounders with cheese for only $4. 2 great sandwiches for a price you'll be loving.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrigan and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich planners, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrigan and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrigan and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich planners, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrigan and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
We welcome you back as we are getting ready for the second half of play. It looked like both teams are going to come out early, but Newberry just warming up now. Lincoln Memorial also already on the field but warming up, and the officials standing at midfield as we prepare for the final 45 minutes of regulation. Lincoln Memorial, of course, looking to pick up another win in league play if they can carry here today, and so far they've looked impressive. A win would push their record to 7-2-1, 4-2-1 in league play. But as we see the standings, you got Wingate, as we said earlier, in first place, 6-0 in league play, followed by Carson Newman and Anderson, both at 4-2. Now, Lincoln Memorial still has to play Anderson, so that's something they can do something about. But among the leaders throughout the league, Anderson would be the only one that that's up at the top of the standings that they still have to play this year. But that could be a good thing because you've got to go to Coker. Coker is way down in the 10 spot going into this weekend's action. They are tied with Queens and Catawba. LMU also plays Catawba, but they do host Mars Hill. Now, you know, you'd think Mars Hill here at home and the Lions way back there in the 11 spot, that would be a gimme, but to be quite honest with you, the Lions have had Lincoln Memorial's number here in recent years, especially in postseason play. They have been just an absolute nightmare for Helio Dana and his club. So while you can look at the standings and say, well, you've got some easy ones coming up, you really can't guarantee that. But I would say this team, with the talent, the depth they've got this year, if you look at that, the odds are in Lincoln Memorial's favor that they could have a late season run. A win here today over this Newberry team could be the beginning of a long run. If you go to Coker, they're down there, as we said, in the 10 spot. Mars Hill is in the 11 spot. Then Anderson, it will be the biggest challenge, although, as we said, you can't overlook anybody. And then you've got Catawba to close things out, and Catawba is also down among the bottom of the teams in the league. So Lincoln Memorial could actually move up the ladder here over the next couple of weeks, and that could put them in an excellent position going into the South Atlantic Conference tournament. But they've got to take it one match at a time, and they've got to be focused for every match. They've got to go out and execute and completely execute that game plan in order to pick up each win. So hopefully they'll do just that. Plays like that, it's not going to happen, as that was a bad pass that was kept into play by Coro, but now turned over into the Wolves' favor. Cross into the box to the far side. Lane trying to run it down, and that will ride out of play back to Lincoln Memorial. Not the way you wanted to see your team start off second half, and there's another miscue on the throw-in. Cleared by Taylor, picked up by DeSilva. Check pass back to Rezick. Rezick looking across the grain to the near side. He's got Beta. Up to Abdelaziz. Check pass back to Data. Now over to Spielman. Railsplitter's doing what got him here at 3-0, just kind of knocking it around, probing the seams. Lane up to DeSilva. Back to Lane on the deflection. Rezick will track it down after Newberry got a piece of that one. He'll take it back and reset with the keeper. Newberry picking up the defensive pressure just a little bit here to open the second half. Already seen a lot more movement there than we saw against the LMU players in the first half of play. Here's Abdelaziz. Rezick drops back again. Coro drawing some attention up to Byrne in the circle. Out wide to Spielman. Up through to De Silva under pressure and had it taken away. Two players converged. The one from behind took it. Lead pass. And a great ball, as that was very close to a foul in the box. That ball knocked out of play by Lincoln Memorial, and that was Beta that was challenged hard. The throw-in will come from Jalen Butler near sideline. Long pause here on the throw-in. Not sure what the delay is. Good ball to the box, headed away off the end line, and that'll be a corner kick now for Newberry. We don't have the crowd today that we would have liked to have seen for homecoming. We had a great crowd this morning at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, but a lot of the LMU athletic teams are on the road today. Women's tennis over in Williamsburg, Kentucky for the Cumberland Fall Invitational. The 5 Railsplitter men have qualified for the ITA Southeast Regionals down in South Carolina as that cross is punched out by Ozzie. Of course, volleyball on the road in the Sac Peach Belt crossover. They did pick up a win last night and a loss. And in action today, I think, against USC Aiken. The cross-country teams were in action this morning in their final meet before the upcoming SAC championship. Lacrosse teams playing today, so it really took away from a lot of the fan support, which is primarily student body or student-athlete fan support that we get here at the soccer matches. Corner kick again for Newberry. Stoppage in play at 41-12 as the referee stopped it for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what the reason was. Cross headed away by De Silva. Sent back into the box, sent away by Coro. Pulled down again by Ferreira of Newberry. Ball toward the inline, and that was Cammie Proven that wasn't able to catch up with it, and so the Railsplitters have a goal kick. We are just underway here in the second half as Lincoln Memorial tries to bounce back from a 2-match losing streak this past week. Suffered their first loss of the year, and that was to Wingate less than a week ago up in Barberville, Kentucky on a neutral field. Then lost to arch rival Carson Newman on Wednesday here in front of a big crowd in the East Tennessee rivalry game, or our version of the backyard brawl. De Silva gets it despite the jersey pull. Plays a ball to Danilo De Silva. Great ball. De Silva kept it in play, trying to fight his way around the defender. Shot off to the right side, or actually the left side of the post. And it'll be a goal kick for Newberry, but what a great run by Danilo De Silva and a fantastic pass to put him in an opportunity to have a shot. Of course, the class that went into the 2015 Athletes Hall of Fame this morning, no soccer players in this year's class, but that is coming up quickly, folks. Helena Sokolova, Ibrahima, who is a former LMU women's tennis player, Kelly Kaiser Roberts going in this morning, along with Kenny Woods of the 75-76 NAI Final Four men's basketball team, Jerry Loftus from the 60s from men's basketball. Also, Brad Froning, who, to my knowledge anyway, is the only 3-sport men's athlete here at Lincoln Memorial, as he played baseball, basketball, and golf. Rick Bird, former head coach of the LMU men's basketball program, now head coach at Belmont University in Nashville. And that was the 6 that were inducted this morning. Newberry with another corner kick. Pressure in the Railsplitters early here in the second half. Bending ball toward the frame, headed away by one of the Railsplitter defenders. Ball trickles back into the box, and it'll be Pedro Ozzie that comes down and grabs it up. Throw outlet far sideline. Abdelaziz takes it down off the chest. Might have been De Silva. Actually, it was. De Silva up to Danilo De Silva. Makes his turn. Lead pass to Rezick. He'll hit it once more up to Beta, and Beta has to slow down and wait on it. And apparently he caught a spike to the shin, and he's down, and that turnover back to Newberry. Here's the Wolves' Strakowski. Couple of nice moves. Used his drop back to teammate Mike McPeak. Switch of the field to the near sideline. And that ball headed out of bounds by Beta. Throw in from the near side will come from Bennett Murphy. Back there and away to Hendricks, and he'll switch it over. Again, the pass off to McPeak. Through the seam, up to Vallejos. Long pass to the far sideline. Bryson Lane cutting the offensive player making the run off, and that'll roll out of bounds back to Lincoln Memorial. Dangerous play right there, but no call by the referee. Looked like Byrne went up for a high kick and was going to go right back into his kick went into the chest of the Newberry player, but they're going to call that one out, and it will go to Newberry on the contact. Throw in will come from the far sideline. Long throw toward the box. Headed around a couple of times. Touched last by Lincoln Memorial. Headed again. That's Abdelaziz trying to come up with it. Flicked back toward the keeper, and Ozzie will run in front of it, and that should be the second shot on goal for Newberry. Spielman flicks it up to Byrne. Byrne out to the far side of the field. Played back to Lane. Now over to Taylor. Out to the near side, Coro. Turn it upfield. He's got a lot of space to carry. Coro all the way toward midfield before ever being checked by a defender. Gives it up to Rezick. Across the grain to Abdelaziz. Lane up to De Silva, who keeps it in play. De Silva with a great move around the defender. And he has lost his footing on the far side as it was taken by Newberry. Abdelaziz gets it back for Lincoln Memorial. Up to Spielman. Away to Danilo De Silva. Flick to Byrne. Byrne got it tied up between the legs and lost possession of it. Recovered again by De Silva. Out it comes to Rezick. Rezick through the middle. Pass from Leonardo De Silva to Rezick, picked up and stolen. As now it's Newberry on the run, and wisely the freshman for the Railsplitters, that being Matthew Taylor. It was either Taylor or Coro that played it out off the near sideline to allow LMU to get its defensive shape. I must say that Newberry is possessing the ball much better here in the second half. There's a foul on Lincoln Memorial. That'll be credited to Rezick, who got tied up with the Newberry player right outside, about 15, 20 yards outside the top of the box. Mario Strakowski was the one that went down for Newberry. Solid strike right off the feet of the wall. Hard to say who made contact. De Silva, lead pass up to Byrne. Byrne has it flicked up. Rezick will get it to Spielman. Railsplitters with the numbers. They've got a good line here. Cross the grain. Here's De Silva. De Silva knocked to the ground on a clothesline in the box, right in the face, and the official let it go. Holy cow. Stoppage in play called. So at 33:33 on the clock, the referee's going to go back and check on De Silva. And I mean, he took a good shot and went straight to the ground as it looked like a forearm or an elbow right in the face. Referee trying to help him up as if to say, hey, come on, get up, you're okay. But I can say among the contact that we've seen today where LMU has or has not received a foul from the other team, that one had the most believable contact in the whole thing. It will go back to Newberry. And we are underway again here in Harrogate. The Wolves taking their time and sending this one upfield. They're down 3-0, the clock only working against them. First ball missed, actually won by Beta, and he clocks it to the far side of the field, and that'll go out of play to Newberry. Big lull in the action right now as the Wolves just don't seem to be in any all-fired hurry to get it back into play and close the gap. But Lincoln Memorial has got an outstanding lead on Newberry at this point in the match. Getting the ball touched out by Lincoln Memorial. Wind now blowing toward the south-southwest, and that may or may not hurt the Railsplitters if Newberry gets it deep into their territory. I mean, obviously, anytime it's blowing towards the goal, that can be an aiding factor for the offensive team. Throw in towards the box. Byrne heads it away. Cleared out of there by Da Silva. And a handball called on Lincoln Memorial, as that one was more of a wing ball. I think Danilo Da Silva called for that contact. And there may have been something to that one as well. Here the LMU coaching staff in the background trying to talk it out to their players. Ball in toward the keeper. Charging hard that time for Newberry from the near side of the field was Bennett Murphy, and really just missed the contact with the ball. He looked like he would have had a legit shot, but couldn't quite come up with it. Ball up the near sideline to Beta. Beta carries some space. Swarmed by the defenders now. He's double teamed, sends it up the line for himself, and the red jerseys are going to clear that one out of play as the referee, or linesman if you will, takes a nosedive on the near sideline. Slipped on the wet surface area. Told you that footing out there is sketchy at best right now. Byrne over to Abdelaziz, and that ball cleared all the way up to the LMU bleachers for a game ball. And still bouncing. It's a rarity that one gets up here that far. Ball across the box. Da Silva brings it down on his chest, slips and falls. And then a strike on the streaking Enrique Rezic, who came in after it was brought down off the chest of Da Silva, who fell to the ground, but he was in the right place, right time. And just like that, LMU now with a 4-0 lead, as that would be shot number 6 on goal for the afternoon. Railsplitters strike again, and it came a little less than 15 minutes into the second half. In fact, 14:50. Enrique Rezic with, I believe, his second goal of the match, actually. Beg your pardon, that is going to be, yeah, that is his second. He's got 5 points in this match, and it's now 4-0 Lincoln Memorial. Foul on the Railsplitters at midfield. That again on LMU's Leonardo Da Silva. Abdelaziz denied the ball. Taylor will check it up the far sideline. And that'll roll out a play back to Newberry. Josh Mank, the sports information director at Newberry down in South Carolina, and for some reason I have an idea he's probably not watching in on the broadcast today. He's probably sitting back at his house enjoying a Saturday afternoon watching a football game of some kind. And we're going to have to – I get on to the sports information directors quite regularly in terms of not making the trek to Harrogate. But Mank has been here a time or two, and have to get him back up this way. Wolves knocking it around a little bit. Abdelaziz under pressure, drops back to Beta. Over to Spielman, through the legs. Spielman gets it away to Rezick. Now up it goes to De Silva, double teamed, and has it stolen from behind. De Silva just really waited too long right there, in my opinion. I don't know that he knew that he had two defenders on him. De Silva with a steal. This is Danilo De Silva, and he hits a shot right at the keeper that's saved, and then George Byrne misses over the top of the goal. As well, there's some discrepancy there as to exactly what the exchange was, and it will be a goal kick for Newberry. That's the way it should go down. I mean, De Silva had a shot that was saved by the keeper, and then when Byrne came to catch the deflection, he just hit it high and it went over the crossbar. First ball won by the Railsplitters, second ball by Newberry. And the Wolves will gain possession on it, at least for the moment. Nice job by Taylor to flick it out far sideline. LMU's got a substitution ready to check in. I think that's going to be Philip Wong that'll come in on the next opportunity. Throw it again from the far sideline. We're down to 27 minutes left in this contest. Railsplitters with a commanding lead. There's the throw. Header knocked around. Rezick will clear it. De Silva can't get there to midfield in time, and again it's knocked back into the box. Ball out of play, and Lincoln Memorial will have it back. Folks, want to remind you, Thursday nights at 6:30 on LMU Community TV. You can catch the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Each week I'll talk with those in and around the LMU Athletics Department about everything going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics. That's Thursday nights at 6:30 on LMU Community TV. And you can catch that on the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. Lincoln Memorial just knocking it around. Up through the gap to Abdelaziz, mishandled it. Ball knocked toward the box, and now LMU recovers off the deflection. Rezick turns it over again. Pass intended for De Silva. This could result in a goal for Newberry, and that strike hit well to the far side post, as it was a shot by Lucas Ferreira. And that'll get Philip Wong in for Lincoln Memorial, as the Railsplitters are also going to make a keeper change. I believe that is Cole Luby, who is wearing 0. If, in fact, it is him, he's a 6'2 freshman out of Hillsboro, Missouri. And I hope that I am pronouncing that correctly. Low driving kick off the chest of Byrne. Flicked back, picked up by Newberry's Ferreira. And that ball is going to roll off the end line off of Lincoln Memorial. That'll be a Newberry corner kick. They've had a lot of them today. Substitution now for the Wolves. Only one shot on goal this afternoon for Newberry thus far. Corner kick bending toward the frame, headed away by Coro. Off the inline once more, and again another corner kick. Bending ball again. Hit back toward the box. Byrne trying to flick it around. Got tied up with it. And that's going to be a foul on Lincoln Memorial in the box as one of the Railsplitters was laying on the turf. Got the ball tied between his legs, and that's a no-no. There's some pushing going on down there, and the referee in between them. Bernardo da Silva trying to push his teammates back. Things getting a little heated down there on the turf right now. Well, the Newberry players pushing each other now, and I'm not real sure what the ruckus is about, but I can tell you that if you're fighting amongst yourselves, that's not a good thing. A lot of frustration right now. There's going to be a foul actually about where you would find the to the left of where you would find the penalty kick spot inside the box, but outside the keeper's box. And it's going to be about 7 or 8 yards to the left of that spot. And so LMU basically is just stacking guys in front of the frame, trying to block this area. This is a real opportunity for Newberry. They're going to bring Danilo da Silva back now. The only one that can grab it with hands, obviously, is that ball is either off the post or off one of the Railsplitters, hard to say, and then Newberry kicks it out of play, and it looks like a Lincoln Memorial player took a shot pretty hard right there. That is Philip Wong was trying to walk it off. I think Philip Wong is the one that took that shot to the chest with the ball. Philip Wong trying to – he's only a freshman, folks, but I tell you what, he took a bullet right then on that shot toward the left post area, but it was off of his chest or stomach area. Short ball, Wong takes it off the feet, plays it back to Taylor, the teammate on the far side. Long ball across midfield, challenge ball won by Newberry. Second ball brought down by Da Silva, tried to flick it to his teammate, and a foul on Newberry. Rezick at midfield. Very nearly had it taken away, still in the circle. Long ball through the seam. This is Beta up the near sideline. Railsplitters pushing up, played back to Wong. Wong across, out on top to Rezick. Down through to Da Silva, mishandled. Wong got it off the feet, now trying to beat the defender to the sideline. Keeps it in play, plays it back to Spielman. Spielman under pressure from behind, drops back to Coro. High flicked ball over the defender. Wong plays it off the chip over to Spielman. And it's stolen by the Wolves and stolen back by Lincoln Memorial. Then the Wolves will get it back. Break into the box, knocked away by LMU. And a high ball to the far side of the square. That's Taylor that clears it off the far sideline. Pretty exciting little exchange we had right there. You look also down the schedule, I can tell you that by Halloween, regular season will be complete throughout the South Atlantic Conference, and we'll be looking into quarterfinal round play of the SAC tournament. I mean, nothing's a given, but I think barring just the worst catastrophe that ever had in Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer, I think the Railsplitters will qualify for one of the 8 teams. There's a shot toward the post. Keeper save by the LMU keeper, Luby. A little over 20 minutes to play here in Harrogate. Ball sent toward the middle of the field, and that's Wong challenging. Comes up with possession off the pressure. Back to Rezick on the drop. And he'll use his drop back to Coro. Up to Rezick. Away to Spielman. Back to Rezick. Back to Coro. Almost as though neither one of them wanted it. Byrne. To Rezick. Direct ball headed for the box area. De Silva under pressure from 2 defenders. And a whistle from the referee. Let's see who he's going to issue this one against Lincoln Memorial. And I kind of agree with him right there. It looked like De Silva may have had him by the arm and tried to pull him down. It's all in a matter of how it's perceived out there. And if the referee feels like you're taking dives here and there, sooner or later he's going to start calling it the other way. And I think in that case, it's probably what he did. Ball through the gap. Intended for De Silva. De Silva looking at the referee that time as if to say, hey, do I get that call? And clearly he didn't. Velasquez can't handle it. Now it's Coro that picks it up, plays it up through to Lincoln Memorial's De Silva. Byrne, one more pass down line. De Silva on the run from the far side of the box. Chips a shot right at the keeper, and that'll be right into his hands. So Gabe Ward with another save. He's a 6-foot sophomore out of Spartanburg. Tell you what, that field out there right now is a mess. Rezick making a couple of dives out there and trying to knock the ball away before it's knocked out of bounds back to Lincoln Memorial. So a substitution for the Railsplitters. See who this is. This is going to be Victor Perez, a 6-foot freshman out of Brasilia, Brazil. George Byrne will go off for Lincoln Memorial. Danilo De Silva gets the inbound throw. Keeps it in play far sideline, trying to go up line with it. Unable to get it to Perez as that ball is knocked out. And Lincoln Memorial will have it in the far corner via the throw-in or corner kick, whichever it may be. More substitutions. Yinka Lawal returning for LMU, along with Pedro Villa. As De Silva will go out. Both De Silvas go out. Throw into Philip Wong. And he's knocked to the deck. That'll be a foul on Newberry. A set ball for Enrique Rezick. He'll make the strike from the far side of the box, bending toward the keeper's area, and that ball goes out of bounds untouched, as that will be a goal kick for the Wolves. And LMU complaining about some kind of contact down in there, but really nothing that was evident. Substitution coming on is, I believe that is a gentleman that I don't think I've seen this year. He actually is one of our guys up at the LMU Community TV, George Cant, a 6'1 sophomore out of Oakbrook, England. Villa gets the head on it, but can't keep it in play, and that'll go back to Newberry at midfield. A lot of talent on this year's LMU team. A couple of bad breaks against Wingate and Carson Newman, but were legitimately beaten by both clubs. Taking the field by Perez. He's going to test the keeper. Shot toward the goal, and it goes! Perez with a strike from about 45 yards out on a lob over the keeper's head who had come out of the frame, and Lincoln Memorial takes a 5-goal lead off that long ball by Perez. 6-foot freshman out of Brasilia, Brazil. He's not been in the match 5 minutes. Spectacular goal from downtown range. He was clear out in Claiborne County. .40 to play, and LMU up with yet another goal on that strike by Perez. Tested the keeper and caught him napping. Coro making the run. Up to Kant. Kant makes his turn. Drops back to Taylor. Sent across the middle of the field. Rezick picks it up. Here's Spielman. Into Kant. Drop back to Coro. Spielman back over to Rezick. He's under pressure from Wendt. Long ball through the middle. Beta trying to get there. Beta knocked off of it. Shot by Villa that hits the crossbar. Punched out. Villa knocks it again, and this time it'll go wide right. Good stuff by the Railsplitters on those two exchanges. Great ball on the direct ball over the entire defense's head. LMU was charging hard, and the keeper was forced with the decision to stay close to the frame or come out on it. Really didn't have a choice as the first shot hit the crossbar. The second was deflected and went wide right. Unlucky strike on that ball to the crossbar. Beta, high challenge ball on the Newberry end of the field. Wolves will win it. Drop back there to McPeak, now to the near sideline. This is Butler. And Villa knocks that one out of play. Throw in for Newberry. Butler will go up line with it. Flicked by Strakowski, and that'll dance off the sideline for Lincoln Memorial possession. Rezick. Back to Coro, switch to the field far side. I think that's MJ Sheriff. I can't tell from here. It is. Over to Vasquez. The wall drops back on it, keeps it in play. And a holding foul on Newberry. Clock down to a little bit over 13 minutes. LMU out on top 5-0. Up to Rezick, a lot of space to carry. Rezick still pushing it up to the midfield line, drops it into Villa. He has it taken from behind, and a foul on Lincoln Memorial as Villa got tied up with Jalen Butler. So the kick will be taken by Newberry Sterling Wendt. And the Wolves will try to take it from about two-thirds field down to the LMU box area, and Railsplitters will get it back. Sheriff, top of the 18. Over to Spielman, back to Sheriff. He's going to switch it over to Coro again. Coro flicks it over top of the defender. Beto will bring it down, now knocked away from behind. Over to Coro, high arcing ball across midfield. It's a challenge ball. Nice ball by Perez, but he couldn't keep it into play. He had a pretty good first touch on it, but just not enough real estate to deal with it over there. Keeper comes out on it. Nice job by the LMU backup. I think that's Cole Luby. I've not seen him play, so I really don't know. Kant at midfield. Drops over to Spielman. Far sideline to Vasquez. Now back to Spielman. Sheriff in the defensive backfield. Keeping it on the far side with Spielman. Now back to Sheriff. Through the gap up to Spielman. Vasquez looking across midfield. He's still making the run. Switches it out to Rezick. Ball to the far side of the box. Cant brings it down. Rips a shot that's deflected, and that's going to go out off the end line to Lincoln Memorial for a corner kick. Railsplitters will take this one from the far upper corner, and a substitution ready to check in for Newberry, but no LMU subs there, so they'll have to wait until it's their possession. Railsplitters stacking some bodies in the box over there. Bending ball toward the frame. Trickling around in there, still being tied up. It looked like LMU's Perez was still down. Check back by Villa. Spielman's going to let it roll back to the keeper. And now Spielman's under pressure from two defenders. Ball knocked out off the near sideline, and that's going to go to Newberry. So the Wolves will get their substitution into the lineup. Haley O'Dana will use the opportunity to get one as well. Ten minutes to play here in Harrogate. Very cloudy conditions. The rain, for the most part, is held off today. Somewhat cooler. A lot of folks bundled up today. Fall weather clearly in the air. I don't think Dana got his substitution to the sideline quickly enough, and the referees wouldn't allow it. Throw to the box, headed away. Back into the box. And the LMU keeper out there on it. Railsplitters pitching a shutout thus far. Hopefully they can capture it, preserve it, if you will. Can't. Drops back to Sheriff. Spielman just kind of looking over his options. Now to Coro near sideline. He's got a lot of space to carry. Lead ball way up toward the box area. Two LMU offensive players shot to the right post that time. And again, that was Perez as he just went wide right. And I mean, literally a tough angle, but couldn't have missed that one by a few feet. So substitutions for both teams. Going out for the Railsplitters, it'll be Rafael Beta. Returning for Newberry, it's Tyler Lee. And in for Lincoln Memorial, it is Adrian Herrera, a 6'2 redshirt freshman out of Austin, Texas. First ball near midfield, won by Rezick. Second ball to Newberry off the Railsplitters' head. That was picked up and taken by George Cant. Spielman, lob ball to the far sideline, intended for the Railsplitters' Herrera, and that'll be knocked out of play. So possession back with the Wolves of Newberry. And there's a handball on the throw-in, unintentional by the Railsplitters, nonetheless a foul, and Newberry will get it right in front of the LMU bench area. Long ball to the far end of the field, and that'll go out off the end line untouched, so that'll be a goal kick for the Railsplitters. 7:20 to play as Lincoln Memorial is en route to its 7th win of the year, its 4th in South Atlantic Conference play. And I think it's safe to go ahead and say that your Old Town Grill University Medical Clinic player of the match will be Enrique Rezick. We'll try to get some words from him immediately following today's match, as well as head coach Haley O'Dana. Rezick with 5 points, 2 goals, and 1 assist thus far that we know of. Villa making a run through the numbers up the field. Check pass to Cant. Stolen away by the Wolves and now knocked back by LMU's Lucas Coro. Here's Johnny Light trying to go toward the box area with it. Again, it's Coro with a steal. around the defender, stolen away by Butler. Light tried to play it across the middle, stolen by the Railsplitters. And now this is Yinka Lawal on the breakaway. He is really tearing up the field as he took a lot of space there, and that ball played out of bounds. Last touched by Newberry. Thought possibly that LMU player Adrian Herrera had gotten a piece of it, but he did not. Here's Villa to Spielman. Up to Lawal. Lawal with a defender behind him. Back to Spielman. Check pass to Herrera. And Herrera is beaten to the ball by Newberry's Mike McPeak. Under 6 minutes now. We'd like to remind you to keep up to date on all that's going on with LMU Athletics. Pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. You'll find all the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster, schedules, news releases, photographs, videos, and much more. LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. Here's Coro across midfield. Looks wide right. He's got Villa on the sideline. Villa lobbing a pass to the top of the box, headed in there. Yinka Lawal brings it down to the feet, and one Railsplitter is down at the top of the box. Lawal tripped on the tackle by the Newberry player on the end line, and now the referee calling for the athletic training staff, but he never called for a stoppage. And the clock will stop at 4:39. I didn't see him call for one. But when you see the training staff coming on, you got to assume that there's a stoppage. I can tell you one thing. For a team that's 1-9 on the season, soon to be 1-10, it is going to be a long ride back to Newberry, South Carolina, especially down I-26, as they head back to their campus here this afternoon after this match. And, if you come down here and you win today like the women's team did, for them, it's probably a much better trip back. I mean, you picked up your second win of the year and first in conference play. But for the men, this is a grueling stretch that they're going through right now. You really got to feel for them to a certain point. Hopefully they'll be able to pick up a couple of victories before the season's over. So the referee ready to get going again. A corner kick for Lincoln Memorial. This will be Villa, I believe, to take it. And whistle by the official, as apparently there was some contact that he didn't like, and that's going to be a foul on Lincoln Memorial, back to Newberry. .420 to play. And Newberry, I'm sure, sees the writing on the wall. Vasquez got a piece of it. Now the Wolves on the charge for the box area. Trying to find an opening. Collision in the box. Ball's cleared away by Lau. Picking it up on the far sideline is Tyler. Cross outside the keeper box. Flicked around a little bit. Newberry trying to find an opening. Can't got a piece of it. Knocked out on a deflection off the end line, as it was Villa that kicked the ball, but it was off one of the Newberry players, so that's going to go to Lincoln Memorial via the goal kick. Elio Dan has got to be pleased with his team's performance today. They have really dictated every aspect of this game and the tempo of it, if there is such a thing. Ball sent upfield by Spielman. Played out wide for Kant, making the charge. He rips a shot to the left post, and it's just wide of the frame. Beautiful ball by George Kant, and just about a foot left of the post. That would have been at about the 3-minute mark, so Newberry fortunate that they didn't give up yet another goal. Cant with a header back toward the keeper on the challenge ball near midfield. Here's Spielman. He'll use his drop back to the keeper. Up to Spielman again. Through to Lau, far sideline. Vasquez. Up to, not sure who that was. I'm not, that's not Villa. That's actually Igor Oliveira. He's a 5'11" sophomore out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Under 2 minutes. Long ball to the box area, headed away by Villa, out of play. That'll be a throw in for Newberry. Again, your Old Town Grill University Medical Clinic player of the match, Enrique Rezic, we'll try to get some words from him after today's game, along with LMU head coach Helio Dana. It's coming up shortly, just a minute and a half away from the final horn. MJ Sheriff fighting the defender off. Sends the ball up field now as it's picked up by Herrera. Herrera sends one down line intended for Villa. He's charging hard. Villa's going to have a chance to get to it, but can't keep his footing. And then a foul on Lincoln Memorial as that was Yinka Lawal that ran over the Newberry player Lucas Ferreira. So less than a minute to go. As we said earlier, the Railsplitters are going to advance to 7-2-1 on the year, 4-2-1 in the SAC, while Newberry's woes continue. They'll go to 1-10 and 0-7 in the league. 35 seconds on the clock. Sheriff with a header back toward midfield. Railsplitters trying to get one for the road. Perez up to Lawal, cleared away by Tyler, and Lincoln Memorial would probably have about one more, maybe two more opportunities as George Cant sprints down there, and he's going to have the corner for Lincoln Memorial. 15 seconds left. Cant takes the corner. Ball headed around in the box. Still there. Lawal with a shot over the crossbar and just missed it. And that'll do it as Lincoln Memorial wins it 5-0 over Newberry to take this South Atlantic Conference matchup here on Homecoming Saturday in Harrigan, Tennessee. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back, and we'll talk with your Old Town Grill University Medical Clinic player of the match, Enrique Rezic, and head coach Helio Dana when we return right after this on the LMU Sports Network.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrigan and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich planners, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrigan and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 4th 9th Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Pinnacle Performance Physical Therapy wants you to know you have a choice where to receive physical and occupational therapy. We take an individualized approach to treating people of all ages. Our therapist's goal is to assist all patients by reaching their pinnacle performance in school, work, and play. We have state-of-the-art equipment such as our Alter-G anti-gravity treadmill, used to rehabilitate injuries and pain throughout the body's lower extremities. Contact us for an appointment at 423-869-9923. Pinnacle Performance Physical Therapy, 362 Catalpa Avenue, Harrogate.
Whether traveling for business or pleasure, Sleep Inn and Suites of Middlesboro, Kentucky invites you to dream better here. Located at the foothills of the Cumberland Gap, Sleep Inn and Suites offers luxurious rooms equipped with microwave fridge combo, desk, ergonomic chair, wireless internet, and 32-inch flat-screen TV. While staying with us, visit our fitness center, wake up to our complimentary hot breakfast bar, or have a bedtime snack with our fresh-baked cookies. Sleep Inn and Suites, located off Highway 25E, Middlesboro. If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
Railsplitters winning here today 5-0 over the Wolves from Newberry College and snap a 2-match losing streak with the victory. It was a match in which LMU took control of the tempo early. They possessed the ball very well throughout, and they really executed a game plan that I'm sure they worked on in short number of days since the loss to Carson Newman. So that will set the Railsplitters in motion for their final 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, if you will, of regular season play. They only have 2 more matches remaining at home this season, Mars Hill and Catawba, those 2 matches. And while they have an opportunity to make a late season run and a really solid regular season finish, you can take nobody for granted throughout the South Atlantic Conference. And for sure, those matches are going to be tough ones as we wait on Enrique Rezic and, of course, Helio Dana. We'll get Enrique up here now. He is our Old Town Grill University Medical Clinic player of the match, and he joins us now. 2 goals for Rezic today and 1 assist. Enrique, let's talk about this for just a minute. It was a match today that clearly we possessed the ball very well. I thought we, not to take anything away from Newberry, but I thought we did a very good job of executing our game plan.
Yeah, we knew that they're going to play high. I mean, they're coming from a lot of losses, so they needed this win. So since the beginning, we played hard. We tried to fill the pitch well. And then we created our chances. I mean, we were loud and outgoing. So we had the chances, and we were lucky to put it in.
Seemed like everything, both offensively and defensively, started with you and Lucas Coro back there. Talk about your play with Coro. You all seem to have a very good rapport working with each other.
Yeah, actually, Lucas is one of my closest friends here, so we talk about the game, how we can do better every day. So we try to put that on the field, and it's working. I mean, he can play different positions, so we played in the middle together, and I can help him out on defense too. So I think it's working because we can communicate right. We know how to do the things, and we talk about that later when we are in our room. We talk about it. What can we do better? And it's working. I'm happy for that.
Let's talk about for just a minute now. You came into this one on a 2-match losing streak. You lost to Wingate and Carson Newman. I know that's tough for you to swallow on both of those, and I know that this team was very eager to get the win here today.
Yeah, I mean, those games were key games for us because we were fighting for the regular season. And we knew that we couldn't lose those games, but unluckily we lost them, and then we had to get back on track, and we knew how important this win would be. So we put our heart on the field, and it worked out.
You played a great match today. Congratulations, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right. Enrique Rezic, your Old Town Grill University Medical Clinic player of the match. And what a match he had. 5 points today, 2 goals, 1 assist. Helio Dana now joins us. And, Coach, you're going with the new swag here this year. It looks kind of nice, looks pretty fresh. But I know that when you and I talked in the pregame, you were talking about improving possession, and I thought they did an excellent job of that today.
Yeah, let's not take for granted how soft and sloppy the field was. And it's after first match, and it's extremely difficult to do some of the things they did today. Some quality goals. So. Yeah. I'm sorry. So I told them it's not necessarily, oh, yeah, we played a weaker team. No. They delivered.
I selected Enrique Rezic as our player of the match today, not necessarily because he had the 2 goals and the 1 assist, but he plays so well back there in cooperation with Lucas Coro. Seemed like a lot ran through him today, and, he was rewarded with those goals and that assist.
You know your soccer now, because people that know the game know how to appreciate players like him, and I agree 100%, and I would have called the same guy.
You got let's talk about Coro for just a minute. I know that, he's played at various positions throughout the field. Without Nathan Johnson today, you shifted some guys around. Seemed like everybody today knew their assignment, they knew their job, and they played well.
I believe that's the 3rd game that we had to use Lucas back there, either because of Nate or because of Matt. And he does a phenomenal job there, and he's beginning to solidify. I don't think he likes to be a defender, but he does a great job there, yes.
How about that goal by Perez from about 45 yards out?
I'm going to say this. I'll probably hear from my players, but he was coached by the same guy that sent us Leandro Pereira. And he told me, Coach, by the end of the 4 years, he's going to be a Leandro. So that was a good start.
Got the monkey off the back today. We're back in the winning column and on the winning track. If you look down the schedule, only 2 matches remain regular season at home. I don't want to say we're guaranteed a match in the first round of the tournament here at home, but probably there will be 3. Let's leave it at that. But you've still got a schedule that in front of you that you can't really take anybody for granted, but one that may play into your favor in terms of we could make a real late season charge here.
Yeah, if you early in the year told me that knowing what I had to go through in September, I would have been just 2 losses in, I would have being happy, but now I think we could have been undefeated now, so that's the mentality they got to take from here. Now let's go undefeated.
A great win today, Coach. Congratulations. Enjoy it for the rest of the weekend, and I know that there were a few alumni here for homecoming today that really enjoyed the victory.
Yeah, it's great to see them. Thank you.
All right, Helio Dana and his team win it here today. Again, 5-0 your final as the Railsplitters pick up their 7th win of the year, their 4th in South Atlantic Conference play. Technical direction for this broadcast was by Thomas Miracle. Your camera operations were by Tyler Rowlett and, of course, Brooklyn Harrington. We thank them. Jessica provided a little bit of assistance. Adam Haley left us about halftime, but he got the day started. So, again, thanks to everybody who gave their efforts here on Homecoming Saturday. Your executive producer for the broadcast was Tony Spinoza, and that'll just about do it from the LMU Soccer Complex. The Lady Railsplitters fall today in their first match, and the Railsplitters the win here in 5-0 in the second one. And so for everybody behind the scenes of Lincoln Memorial University Soccer, I'm Rusty Peace. Until Monday when the Lady Railsplitters take on Converse, so long, everybody.